Ambassador, thank you for taking time to talk with us today, and not just talking in your office, but in this space. This is Rock Creek Park. This is one of the crown jewels of Washington and America. But I know you're a fan of nature and a fan of America, but you're also familiar and like doing this kind of thing in your own home country. And while we're here today, I just wonder if you could just give us a little bit about your thinking about the relationship, the connection between America and the EU, just briefly.
Well, first of all, of course, our relations right now are on the highest spot. If I look 10 years or 15 years ago, we have Trade and Technology Council, we have Energy Council, we have Indo-Pacific Dialogue. We moved our policies very close, be it Russia's aggression in Ukraine, sanctions, China, trying to fight over capacity or the over flood of the Chinese goods to our market, and the trade is on the rise, and this trade is like huge numbers, creating more than 14 million jobs on both sides of the Atlantic.
Well, that's good for the cooperation. Another thing about cooperation that's important right now is your efforts in Europe regarding disinformation. You are well ahead of the U.S. when it comes to that because you've been victims of Russia's disinformation for decades, maybe centuries, I suppose. But the U.S. is just now starting to get into some places that you and Europe have gone through. So what are your thoughts and advice about America facing disinformation right now on the scale that we're seeing it, with this being an election year?
Well, first of all, of course, we have to recognize that we have the problem. We recognized back in 2014 after Russia occupied Crimea, and there was really a lot of disinformation and misinformation and lies in our media and social media, and these lies and this disinformation talks in more than 20 languages. If you do the research of the all fake accounts on the social media, they can produce 200,000 fake posts a day. Only in country, for example, like Germany, so it's like 2.6 tweets a minute.
Yeah.
So that's really a big number. So I think with the social media, we have really disinformation on steroids. So we were very careful. We really have a special, not only now the strategic communication division in order to debunk all the myths and all the lies, like you put the facts on the ground, but we have a special regulation which we actually share responsibility with the social media platforms, that when there is some kind of the misinformation, disinformation, and especially fake accounts, that social media platforms have take the decision and remove those from there. And of course a lot of that is related because we have elections in June 6th, 9th in Europe. We will elect the European Parliament all across the 27 member states, and we feel that this foreign interference, this informational foreign interference is growing, and if we don't do it's now, it can have an effect on our political systems.
And speaking of your political systems and the need to act right now, there's this war in Ukraine. You're wearing a t-shirt right now that says, whatever, as long as it takes, whatever, victory. Explain that t-shirt.
So usually when we talk about Russia's war in Ukraine, we say that whatever it takes, we can how long it takes, we will continue support Ukraine. But it's important to to make emphasis that we have to make sure that Ukraine wins and Russia loses, because the Ukrainians are fighting not only for their country, for the democracy, for their freedom, but they are fighting for the values which we care. Because if not rule of law, if not human rights, if not the way of life we have, our attachment to freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, and freedom actually of running our own countries. So this is, I think, that we have to make sure that all those values wins, that those values have to win. I think that's important.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you. This is a wonderful place. I'm happy to share it with you, and I hope one day perhaps we'll be able to share yours with you. Thank you again, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure.